Today I'm at Our Ladies Primary School to find out how safe practice in PE and sport can help employers, schools and PE teachers. Up until now, local authorities have bought this resource to help schools deliver safe PE. That's changed for many, and it's now the school's responsibility to buy it. Those people delivering PE know the importance of teaching safely and confidently. Fun and interesting PE at school is the key to future involvement in sport.
Safe practice in physical education and sport is needed in every school because it is the definitive guide to effective, safe delivery of physical education and sport. It can be used for effective planning, it can be used by the head teacher to ensure they are compliant, and it is certainly necessary for a governing body to understand what their responsibilities are to health and safety. You can just dip into it as and when you need it. We don't want anyone to read it from cover to cover because that wouldn't be effective. It's used by the judiciary, by legal representatives and by the judges in any case that comes to a court. It is actually used as the reference tool, and often colleagues who've contributed to this resource and the author are used as expert witnesses.
Peter, tell us a bit about your background.
I'm a physical education teacher. I've worked in schools, in universities, for local authorities doing advisory work. Particular interest now are in law and health and safety. I've been involved in 6 of the 8 editions of the book. We've worked through from writing as a group, but now for this one I'm the sole author, so I've put it together in the way that I felt was important to try and put a simple, positive message across to teachers and those who work in schools about what safe practice means.
Peter, why exactly do we need this book in schools?
Safety standards aren't static, they do change over time. So schools need to be aware of and work to what are the current best practice.
So what are the key differences then between the older books and this new version now?
This new edition is in line with what Ofsted looks at within school inspections and what the new national curriculum will suggest about what children should learn about safe practice.
What have you included from a management point of view?
I've included lists of what schools might want to consider and feel that they need to include in their written policies and procedures, so that schools can then work towards getting consistent standards and consistent safe practice across whoever teaches them, visiting coaches, school staff, teaching assistants, so that the youngsters are in a secure learning environment. Whoever they're with, then the same safety standards apply.
I want you to think of one way to make it harder.
What sort of things is he talking about that are relevant in the book?
What he's covering obviously is progression, that they can actually progress, make the task more difficult for themselves as they see appropriate. Again, a safety feature in terms of whether or not they actually progress and set the challenge at a suitable level, or whether or not it's just beyond them and it loses purpose. The safety factor is in actually being able, whatever the task is, being able to cope with the task. As soon as he starts an activity, a task, he'll step back and just have a look. Is it safe? Have they got enough space? Second thing he'll ask himself is, do they understand the task? In other words, can they do it? Once he's checked that yes, they can do it, because if they don't understand the task or they can't do it, that impinges on safety. This issue of teaching technique is so important. A number of cases, claims that have been made successfully because someone has been hurt taking part in a sport activity or physical education where they have not been taught the technique. They don't have the skill, therefore it's more likely that they will become injured.
Right, so outside our main activity, we're going to go into our playing areas. What do we think the triangles are on the map? What are the triangles? I've also put be aware of mud because it has been raining and there is a little bit of kind of residual mud on the floor which you might slip on, so we need to take care there.
The safety factor within this playground, which is the mud, the drain and this curb here for tripping and slipping. The girl who's actually just run off to get a ball was very aware. She slowed up, she walked they're actually showing a very good safety awareness. They've covered that as a safety issue, the mud and so on, to take care going through it in the classroom already. All the things that are happening are about being a good teacher, responding to their needs, setting the appropriate challenge, but they're all related to safe practice.
It shows that it can be challenging and you've got to challenge them almost to be safe as well. In the book, there's 45 points thereabouts. So what would you say are the two most important that you'd like to emphasise?
Every teacher needs to actually show forethought, forward planning, what they want to teach, how they want to teach it, is it safe? And the second thing is their observation skill, to make sure that what is happening is safe. If it's unsafe, what they do need to do to make it safe. Those two, I think every single teacher should be putting into every lesson.
In this book is also a CD-ROM. What purpose has the CD-ROM got in addition to the book?
Additional material, particularly in a form that schools can use to adapt, to make it particular for themselves, so they can delete parts, add parts, make it specific to themselves, to do with risk assessments, consent forms, teaching lists, and so on.
And what examples have you given of case law and how important are those examples for teachers to see?
About 70 examples of case law, again just to highlight what is good practice and what teachers need to do. It puts it into context, what they need to think about to make sure that what they do is safe, to do with equipment, to do with tasks, to do with organisation of lessons.
I'm the PE coordinator at Our Ladies Primary School, and I'm also an advanced skills teacher for PE. I feel it's absolutely valuable to have because it's really reassuring if I don't know any answers to the questions on health and safety, because there's so many complex things in PE. Children have to do PE and sport, and there's little things that if I don't understand about or I can't advise my other colleagues, I just go to the book, it's there, it's a very great time saver, an excellent resource.
So what we've seen is you can still have safe but challenging and exciting PE lessons, and that this really is an essential tool for all PE teachers and schools, and it should most definitely be in every school.